Every cat owner has experienced this. Sitting on the couch, not moving, not calling, and the cat arrives. She puts one paw on the leg, then the other, pulls herself up, turns once, turns again, and settles. Full weight, right on the lap or the chest, or the one spot on the thigh where the laptop was supposed to go. Most people smile and call it love. The internet confirms it. She chose you. She wants to be clues. She's showing trust. And just like everything else we have discussed this month, the reality has layers. 3 of them. The first is physics, the second is territory, the third is something that resembles love but operates on different machinery. Understanding which layer is driving the behavior at any given moment changes what the gesture actually means. Layer 1. Thermal. Cats run a body temperature around 38.5 degrees Celsius. Maintaining that temperature while resting costs energy. A human lap is approximately 36 to 37 degrees, which is close enough to the cat's own baseline that lying on one reduces the metabolic cost of thermoregulation. This is why the same cat that climbs on a lap in December ignores it in July. This is why cats choose the person who just came inside from the cold less often than the person who has been sitting under a blanket for an hour. The lap is not selected by affection, it is selected by surface temperature. There is a simple test for this. If a cat climbs on a lap and then moves to a laptop, a heating pad, or a sunlit patch on the floor within 10 minutes, the initial motivation was thermal. She was not choosing the person, she was choosing the warmest available surface, and the person happened to be it first. Milo does this regularly. He arrives on a lap, stays for about 7 minutes, then relocates to the radiator shelf. Every time. The lap is a waypoint, not a destination. Layer 2. Territorial. This is the one most people do not think about. When a cat climbs on a person, she presses her body against their clothes, their skin, their hair. Every point of contact deposits scent. Cats have scent glands along the cheeks, the chin, the forehead, and the base of the tail. Climbing onto a person is, among other things, a marking event. The cat is not just occupying the lap, she's claiming it. The amount of rubbing during the first 30 seconds of climbing is a useful indicator. A cat that climbs up and immediately rubs her cheek along the person's hand, arm, or chin is running a scent protocol. A cat that climbs up and settles without rubbing is less likely to be primarily territorial. In multi-cat households, this becomes visible. One cat climbs on a person, stays for 20 minutes, leaves. Within 5 minutes, the second cat investigates the same spot, sniffs it, and either sits down on it or walks away. That investigation is a scent audit. The second cat is checking who was here. If she sits down, she is overwriting the first cat's claim. If she walks away, she is conceding the territory. I have watched this cycle repeat between dusk and Cleo hundreds of times. Same couch, same person, same evening. Dusk first, then Cleo. Neither of them is expressing affection in that sequence. They are negotiating access to a resource, and the resource happens to be a human being. The person sitting in the middle of this negotiation usually has no idea it is happening. They see 2 cats taking turns on their lap and call it love twice. Layer 3. Nervous system regulation. This is the layer that gets closest to what people mean when they say the cat loves them, but the mechanism is worth understanding precisely. A cat that climbs on a specific person, settles deeply, and stays for an extended period without relocating to a warmer surface is doing something more than seeking heat or marking territory. She is using the person's body as a regulatory tool. The steady heartbeat under the ribs, the slow rhythmic breathing, the warmth that does not fluctuate the way a radiator does. These inputs combine into a signal that the cat's autonomic nervous system reads as stable, safe, predictable. Cortisol drops, muscle tension releases, breathing deepens. The cat is not choosing to relax. Her system is responding to a set of physical inputs that collectively mean this environment is not a threat. Soot does this. She climbs on one specific person in the household, always the same one, and stays for the entire evening. She does not move to the radiator. She does not relocate when the room gets warmer. She stays because the specific combination of heartbeat, breathing, and body temperature from that specific person is what her nervous system has learned to regulate against. Replace the person with someone else. Same couch, same blanket, same room temperature. And soot does not climb. There is a timing component that reveals which layer is dominant. A cat that climbs on a lap within 30 seconds of the person sitting down is almost always thermal. The body just became available as a heat source. A cat that climbs after the person has been sitting for 10 or 15 minutes is more likely regulatory. She waited until the person's breathing settled, the posture relaxed, and the autonomic signals shifted from active to rest. That waiting period is the tell. A thermal cat does not wait. A regulatory cat does. She is not checking the temperature. She is checking the nervous system. One more detail that changes the reading entirely: kneading. When a cat climbs on a person and starts pushing her paws rhythmically into the surface, pressing and releasing, that behavior has a specific origin. Kittens need their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. In adult cats, the behavior persists as a comfort signal. It is associated with the earliest, most primary sense of safety a cat can experience. A cat that climbs on a person and kneads is not just thermoregulating and not just marking. She is running a behavior that her nervous system associates with the safest state she has ever known. Not all cats knead. Of my 5, 3 do. The 2 that do not are both shelter rescues who were separated from their mothers very early. They climb, they settle, they regulate, but the kneading circuit either never fully developed or was suppressed by the stress of early separation. The 3 that do knead were all with their mothers for at least 8 weeks. That correlation is not proof, but it is consistent with what behaviorists describe. That combination, climbing plus kneading plus sustained contact plus slow breathing, is the closest behavioral package to what people mean when they say love. It is not love in the human sense. It is a nervous system returning to its earliest template of safety and running it on a new target. The person has become functionally a surrogate for the most fundamental security the cat has ever experienced. That is not a small thing. So what does it mean when a cat climbs on a person? It depends. It always depends. A cold cat on a warm lap is physics. A cat pressing her body against someone in a multi-cat household is territory. A cat that waits, climbs, kneads, and stays is doing something the research community does not have a single word for. Something that involves heat, scent, memory, and a nervous system that learned over months or years that this particular body is the safest place in the world. The surface behavior is the same in all 3 cases: cat on lap. The meaning is entirely different, and the only way to know which one is happening is to watch what comes before, what comes after, and whether the cat would do the same thing on a warm radiator. This is the 9th video. We have covered signals, sleep, senses, psychology, mistakes, purring, 2 cats, perception, loneliness, pause, and now climbing. Every one of those videos looked at a piece. The next one looks at the whole picture. Not what the cat does, not what the human feels, but what the bond actually is. It is not love. It is not instinct. It is something the language does not have a name for yet. That is the last video of the month, and it might be the most important one.